In nearly every reported Bigfoot or Sasquatch encounter, the witness almost always will make a statement about the odor that seems to saturate the air near the creature. Typically, the smell hits the witness before they ever even spot the animal, but sometimes it's after it runs off that the smell wafts up. Though the odor varies, people consistently say it accompanies a giant hairy beast. Now, going by these descriptions, can we say for certain that it isn't your mother-in-law? Just kidding. In all seriousness, why does Bigfoot have such a strong bad odor, and how does this detail play into comparisons with other large animals and primates? First, let's look into what exactly people are describing smelling in more detail. What the smell is similar to ranges from dead, rotting meat, dirty diapers, to skunk spray. But the reports tend to describe wet dog or decaying garbage the most often. The skunk ape in the American South is said to smell like rotten eggs or methane gas. Others report a strong smell of horse droppings, which according to Dr. W.H. Fehrenbach makes perfect sense. He said that the billy goat and horse dung odor reported is in line with primates, and he even noted these smells himself when he encountered two female Sasquatch at close range. During field research, Dr. Fehrenbach and others also noted the terrible odor of urine and body odors at a suspected sleeping nest area. Additionally, assuming the horse dung smell reported is actually Sasquatch droppings, this would suggest they may have a similar diet to that of horses, consisting of vegetation and whatever grains, seeds, and nuts they may come across, which is of course typical of most primates as well. Some researchers have found what is referred to as a midden in and around suspected Sasquatch sleeping areas, which would surely account for some of the odor they carry. A midden is a refuse pile or heap where certain animals will collect things near or within whatever they use for shelter. The heap can contain anything from rotting plant and leaf matter to bones and discarded entrails from prey that a predator may deem unacceptable to consume. Many animals use these debris heaps as territorial displays or to attract a mate. Oftentimes, the midden will be used as the specified area the animal and/or its entire group uses as a communal litter box, filling it with dung and urine. Some animals, such as deer, are known to dig shallow holes for this purpose during mating season, while others intentionally may roll and wallow in it for various reasons, sometimes including as a defense mechanism. Most impressively, animals may instinctively create these heaps in their shelters as a way of generating heat for their eggs and young during the colder months, like a particularly disgusting compost pile. And what about within primates? Do they create middens? Some do, yes. Some notable examples are capuchin monkeys that often use stones and sticks to open shellfish and nuts. When they discard these tools, it often ends up as an accumulation in one area. Some lemurs have been observed repeatedly using a latrine within their groups, and chimps commonly store and hoard food for future use. If it exists, Sasquatch would no doubt have incredible intelligence. Some theorize it would be the smartest animal on Earth even. With that in mind, it would be reasonable to consider that they may very well create middens in their sleeping areas or within their territories for any number of reasons. Undeniably, these heaps would absolutely reek, and if the Sasquatches are sleeping near or perhaps even covering themselves in these piles of filth, it's no wonder they smell so bad. Especially in hot and humid climates, this would indeed be a cause of a notable odor. But what about primates in general? What do they tend to smell like naturally? Bad. They smell bad. Although it varies by species, the best-smelling primate still has a musky, earthy odor, with great apes like gorillas being known for having the most intense smell, described as sweet, sweaty armpit. Doesn't that sound lovely? Some monkeys are even known to intentionally rub strong or foul-smelling things on themselves like garlic and onions. It would also be noted that a lot of predators, particularly large ones, have a natural unpleasant odor, likely partly due to the carcasses of their prey that will linger on their own bodies or inside their mouth, and within their droppings. Being we don't know with any certainty what exactly Bigfoot's diet behavior is like, this should also be considered as a possibility of what contributes to their stereotypical stink. Some within the Sasquatch research community entertain a somewhat popular theory that Bigfoot may be like many other animals that actually have scent glands that secrete a tremendously offensive smell. This is documented in quite a few primates, including several of the larger ones. Depending on the species, the scent may be activated either voluntarily or involuntarily. The purpose of these glands varies within a fairly wide range, everything from territorial aggression, mating communication, to being a defense to ward off perceived threats. The odors reported certainly sound like a convincing deterrent, but any number of these common purposes of these glands could be the biggest explanation of why Bigfoot reeks, if they do even have these glands, which of course we don't know, and this is all just theories. Another thing noted in many Bigfoot sightings is the sudden silent stillness that falls over the immediate area right before the person spots the creature. Sometimes the person reports a feeling of eerie dread or being watched, and notes that birds and insects cease their noises all at once. This unusual experience is sometimes referred to as the Oz factor, and it is also often reported when large predators like a tiger or bear are in the vicinity. The insects and birds likely hush in response to smelling and sensing the presence of a great danger. If Sasquatch is a predator to any degree, it would seem only natural that nearby wildlife would be on edge until the threat has passed. It might be logical to assume humans also, to some extent at least, pick up on these subtle clues in the air, even if only subconsciously. Of course, this Oz factor experience doesn't always happen alongside the presence of a predator, but it happens enough to be noteworthy, especially for the discussion of why Sasquatch has a strong odor. The reported reactions of wildlife to a Bigfoot being in their proximity points to them being able to smell it well before they see it, which directly brings up questions of if the Sasquatch put off that reported unsettling odor as partly at least a warning to anyone and anything around. If so, it certainly works. Many that have come across a sudden whiff of this indescribable smell said they immediately turned around and left the area, both to simply just avoid the smell, but also because they had the deep, unnerving sense of it belonging to something threatening that they didn't want to mess with. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments if people are smelling Bigfoot or just your mother-in-law, and we'll see you next time at the Crow's Nest.